The thing in the uterus is not a baby. That's what I was trying to say. It's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Okay.
It's a tumor.
And trying to be like, it's a baby. So I'm gonna block you from doing this, like abortion. People get in these crazy traumatic situations. That thing in the baby, not the baby, but the uterus.
You just said
that
it.
Is not,
I think you just admitted that I'm right.
胎児は細胞であり、所詮ただの腫瘍だ。こんにちは皆さん。有田です。今回の動画なんですけど、胎児はただの細胞だというリベラル派の中絶賛成の学生と保守派活動家マイケル・ノールさんの討論の様子ですね。マイケルキリスト教の要素を入れ混ぜて話しているので少し複雑かもしれないんですけど、頑張って翻訳しましたので一緒に見ていきましょう。ではどうぞ。頼むぜアメリカ。
Why do you weaponize religion to justify your subjective opinions?
How do you think I've done that?
You say that God says, oh, there's men, there's a woman, and just leave that as that. Like, you don't represent religion because we don't live in a country where you can be pure based on your religion. Like, you sin, everyone sins, if we can understand that. So trying to weaponize that against people and try to limit their rights because of what you think God said, God didn't speak to you. You don't know,
God does
you don't
speak
know
to me,
God.
and He speaks to all of us, and we can read His word in the Bible,
no,
and we can go to church. No, that is true. So what you're objecting to is that I've quoted the Bible, and I've said right there in the early chapters of Genesis, in the beginning God made man, both male and female created He them. And you're saying, Michael, why would you weaponize religion that way? But what have I done? All I've done is just quoted the Bible, and I'd be happy to have a conversation about 2,000 years of church history on this subject, and I'm happy to have a conversation about even pre-biblical or extra-biblical sources on it, on the hylomorphic nature of the human being. I'm happy to do that. That's not a weapon against any people, that's a weapon against falsehood. And so the only way in which I would turn religion into a weapon is against the devil, and that's what we all have to do, because religion is a habit of virtue that renders to God what He deserves. That's the meaning of the word religion. And so I'm just reading the text and I'm practicing the faith and I'm telling you what the faith has said for 2,000 years. And you might reject it, but I think that it's true. I think religion is true. And you might think that it's false and you might have a different set of beliefs. But one of us is, at the very most, one of us is going to be right. And so at the very least, one of us is going to be wrong. And I just happen to be correct about this.
You know, I can respect the confidence, but it's just purely delusion. Okay,
I don't think Christianity is delusional.
I respect religions. I respect people's rights, but trying to limit someone's rights by saying, "Well, I believe that God said this, so I'm going to block you from doing this," like abortion. People get in these crazy traumatic situations. And it's very hard for a human to ask a human, oh, keep that baby because God said to. That is impossible.
Do you think it's hard do you think it's hard to ask someone, hey, don't murder an innocent person, even if you want to, even if that would be convenient? Because that's what we're saying about
because our fundamental beliefs are different. I don't think it's murder. I think it's that thing in the baby, not the baby, but the uterus.
You just said it.
Is not,
I think you just admitted that I'm right. That's called a Freudian slip. And I think you just proved the point.
Chill out. But the thing in the uterus is not a baby. That's what I was trying to say. It's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Okay.
It's a tumor.
And trying to be like, it's a baby. We just have fundamentally different belief systems, and I don't believe that. No, I don't think it's murder. It's not murder.
Right, but the baby unlike a tumor, say, the baby in the womb, it has the DNA of an individual human being that's different from the DNA of the mother, and the baby in the womb has all the characteristics of human life, and the baby in the womb grows at a very early stage, grows to take on the form of an individual human being, and the baby in the womb left unmurdered will grow into a full adult-sized human being just like you are. So that would seem to be a difference between the baby in the womb and the cancerous tumor. So you're saying, well, I just don't believe that, but you obviously do believe that because you just admitted it, because you called the baby a baby. You don't want to acknowledge that reality because it's inconvenient. And I'm not denying that there are inconveniences in the world, and there's suffering, and there are all sorts of difficult decisions that people have to make, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a right and a wrong answer, and it doesn't even mean that you don't know what it is, because you've admitted that you know what it is.
いやー皆さんどうでしたか？胎児はただの細胞というよりただの腫瘍よ。こんなこと言える人が存在してるんですね。マイコが言っていたように、普通に考えてただの腫瘍は人としての DNA を持っていないと思いますし、人間へと成長していかないものだと思うので、正直編集しててはってびっくりしちゃいましたね。不妊治療を何度もやってやっとの思いで成功させて泣いて喜んでる両親も多い中で、こんな考え方ができる意味が僕には理解できませんね。もっとも彼女が言っていたように、性犯罪の被害者が望まない妊娠をさせられた際の中絶手術というシナリオも存在すると思うので、そこは考えどころですよね。個人的に中絶の有無は極論では話してはいけないものだと思います。ではここで現地の声いくつか紹介していきますね。As a pregnant woman, my baby is not a tumor.My baby is a precious human being who has half of myself and half of my husband. It is the most beautiful thing in the world to have a child growing inside of you. How can anybody call an unborn baby a cancerous tumor when an utterly sick and depraved view of life? This woman has burned her conscience to a crisp. She cannot escape reality forever. Imagine becoming pregnant and telling the people in your life that you've got a tumor. Don't you just love it when a youngster tries to outsmart an adult and fails miserably? She's like my 13 years old who starts rolling her eyes and thinks the world started with her and knows everything. 今回の頼むぜポイントは89点ですね。皆さんの考えもコメント欄で教えてくださいね。このチャンネル頼むぜアメリカではこういったマジかよっていう欧米ニュースを楽しく取り扱ってます。チャンネル登録していただけるととっても喜びますんでよろしくお願いします。では良い一日を。